Hello, my name is Rory McLeod and welcome to the World Storytelling Cafe. Going to sing you some of my songs, which are stories, and I call them dance stories. And so I'd like to take you on a journey, and perhaps being a dance stories, there'll also be physical journeys as well as emotional and inside yourself. Journeying inside yourself as well as on the path and the road out there, following the rivers, through the winds and the trees and the weathers, trying to learn different languages on the way, and picking up accents in order to be understood and join in. We call that assimilating. I guess it's a different way of singing when we talk, so I'll be singing and talking about that too. Okay, I hope you enjoy the rest of my set. Thanks a lot for listening. Okay, it's a travelling song. I was on my way to be with someone I was in love with, and they were in Pakistan. This is when the Iranian borders were open many years ago now, and going through Afghanistan. And baksheesh is a little gift you might give someone. They might ask you for it. It's called baksheesh dance. I stowed away on a train and got thrown out in Germany, hitchhiked to Istanbul, and then I got buses through into Tehran, and anyway, it goes on from there. I'll start with a wee tune first, called Moment Shared. Hello? Yeah, no, I'm alright, we're in lockdown. I'm doing a online concert. I don't know who's out there at all. Yes, it's Margie Sadie. Yeah, I don't know. I can't see them. I guess they can see me though. Yeah, I'll turn. Yeah, alright then. Alright. Yeah, the key. Oh, it's under the flower pot. Yeah. Okay. Don't tell anyone else. Okay. All right. I love you too. Okay. Bye. Ta-ra.
I crossed over blue rivers, they tumbled and sang. My lips are cracked and my toes full of sand. I drank tea in Kabul, I drank tea in my shed, I drank TNT and a place called Haram. Happy I am, I come all this way to give love to my wolf. Happy I am, I come all this way, all this, all this, all this, all this, all this. There was snow in Turkey, trucks sliding off the road. I looked at the moon, there was a long way to go. Snow, I love you, but what would you do? I made so many friends and fell in love with them too. Happy I am, I come all this way to give love to my wolf. Happy I am, I come all this way, all this, all this, all this, all this. I sat all over crowded trucks full of little babies crying. People stared at me because I wasn't their kind. I felt like the Pied Piper was dancing the stone. With bunches of kids, they wouldn't leave me alone. Happy I am, I come all this way to give love to my wolf. Happy I am, I come all this way, all this, all this, all this, all this. Now stop this one. Oh no! gone. It went out the window. The bird, there's a lot of birds.
This one's The Dreams We Breathe Through. I was hitchhiking through South Wales some years ago and I got stuck outside a town called Carmarthen, and it was too dark to carry on, so I couldn't get a ride, you know. I tried everything, you know, like that, and that's even worse because people think you're either drunk or you're dead, and there's not much companionship for a driver to pick someone up like that who might be dead or drunk. But I decided I couldn't get a ride, so I put my machetes and axes and in the bushes there, hidden at the roundabout, and I decided to walk into town and find a bar and asked if I could take the hat round for a few tunes. And the barman said that would be fine, yeah. So I was playing away and drinks started lining up, which was very handy because I was very thirsty, and I got fed as well. I don't know if you like food. Very important part of a balanced diet, food. But anyway, I got a gravy dinner, had gravy with it. I don't know if you like gravy. I love gravy. There's no bones in it, and we all love gravy. Well, most of us. I mean, I was working in a cafe years ago, doing breakfasts actually, and this old fella was on his way out. He'd been eating there, and he suddenly took his cap off, spun round, looked at our blackboard, you know, the menu with all the. And he was looking down, studying it for a minute, and he said, "Is gravy free?" And we said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, I'll have a pint then, please." And yeah, that's I've never tried it myself, but that's. But look, there I was in the bar, back in the bar, and people were even joining in singing. You know, I was playing up, and we had a little sing song. Anyway, it became last orders, and in the last drinking up bell happening, and I to close the bar, and I realised I didn't know where I was going to stay that night. But there's a couple that was sitting next to close to me, who said, "Look, you can come and stay with us if you like. We've got to go now. We've got to relieve our babysitter." So I packed all my stuff away and little things I had, and we got some carry-outs at the bar to take back. You know, some milk. It was quite dark milk actually. I think it was a stout with a lovely creamy head on it. But we took them, and we got back, and the babysitter left, and we were up all night talking at these couples at the place, and you know, we all night we was talking all night until the sun. You know, the sun came up and the moon went down, and we were still talking next morning, and they said, "You can stay tomorrow night if you like as well." And I said, "That'd be lovely, thanks, I haven't been to bed yet." So I did. I stayed the next night and ended up babysitting for them. The kids were great. They untied me afterwards. We made up a couple of songs together actually. There was loads of kids there. There were loads of kids. I thought, blimey, this couple, you know, I mean, there were so many. I think they were trying to lose each other in the crowd, these two friends of mine, because you know, there was small ones. We made up a dressing song, getting dressed song, which was pants before trousers, otherwise you look like Superman. And the other one was about contraception, which goes to show that many kids that obviously had affected them being in a crowd like that. Maybe, you know, where do you do your homework? You know, where do you find space to, you know, where do you kiss your boyfriend or your girlfriend if you've brought one back home, and with your foot against the door, maybe, you know, just stop all your brothers and sisters coming in. But it became apparent, you see, it became apparent why there were so many kids, because my friends told me the next night that they'd been married before, they'd had kids with their partners, and then, well, things started getting sad. They either stopped talking to each other or stopped listening, and things went downhill from then on, and they became strangers to their partners, strangers to each other, and they stopped talking to each other, or they stopped listening. They fell out of love, basically. They fell out of love, sadly, and things went downhill even worse, and eventually they left their partners and took the kids, and they were on their own for a while. This both of them had, you know, they split up from their partners, and they were on their own. But one night, without the kids, they met each other, and thought, you're lovely. Oh, you're nice. And well, they got together, and here they were, bringing each other's kids up against great odds, it seems. So this song's for them. It's called "The Dreams We Breathe Through," and it kind of goes like this, I suppose. They weren't sleeping partners, well, they walked arm in arm together. They shared each other's dreams. Joe would never pass judgment. Things were never how they seemed. When Joe and Eileen talked together, it was Joe who did most of the listening. When they got close, he didn't kiss her, but Eileen kissed him. Whoever Joe met, he believed that they were good in their hearts. He was a miner of the soul, listening was his art. He said, everyone is measureless, and I'm my worst enemy. Through hills and valleys, fire and water, a green landscape was his memory. He's in the dreams that we break through. I keep us warm. The dreams that we break through. Keep us warm. Following the wind. We'll keep on moving, following the wind. We'll keep joy, to give you gladness, to give you a life and the God you got madness, to give you joy, to give you gladness, to give you a life and the God you got madness. Joe said there are only a few things that separate me from you. There's your husband, my wife, and the guilt of being untrue. A drunk man picked a fight with a man he didn't know. For a woman he didn't even love anymore. The man said, take my money, rob me till I'm hungry, with nothing to lose. Take my love away with my soul, you shorten my fuse. Will torture me, break my heart and soul, till I'm numbed by the pain. A prisoner in your world, till I'm nothing to lose but the chains. Whoever you find to accompany you, Eileen, they'll begin at the end. Wherever we start, wherever we finish, I'll always love you like a friend, you silly cow. And the dreams that won't break through, keep us warm. The dreams that we break through, keep us warm. Following the wind, we'll keep on moving, following the wind. We'll keep on moving, to give me joy, to give you gladness, to give you a life and the God you got madness, to give me joy, to give you gladness, to give you a life and the God you got madness. You drink a toast to your ex-husband and his ex-wife, giving me the madness that comes with a love of life. And no one loves another man's wife, herself, her kids and her scars that he has learned in his own wounds. Broken hearts and promises, the slave knows the other slave's tune. They can sing them together to break the proud chains of loneliness. Sing them together to break the proud chains of loneliness. To give you joy, to give you gladness, to give you a life and the God you got madness. To give you joy, to give you gladness, to give you a life and the God you got madness. Maybe the dreams that we break through, keep us warm. The dreams that we break through, keep us warm. Following the wind, we'll keep on moving, following the wind. We'll keep on moving, to give you joy, to give you gladness, to give you a life and the God you got madness. To give you joy, to give you gladness, to give you a life and the God you got madness. children are. It might be where our parents are, or grandparents. It might be a language. We might not have a choice of where our home is, because we've had to leave in a hurry, make a home somewhere else, and get blamed for every crime that ever happened. I was the tune for this song that I made up was inspired by a man called Charlie Patton, who was an old black fella, country singer, folk singer, blues, soul singer, and he inspired lots of people. And one of them was a man called Robert Johnson, and Robert Johnson was another black fella who inspired another black fella called Muddy Waters, and so it goes on. And they might wonder where their home was. A lot of black folks, friends of mine, they went to Africa and they walked around and got there, arrived, and they looked around and they said, a lot of black folks around, but you know what, it's not here either. Maybe it is in Mississippi where Grandma is, or in Chicago where our brother is. And so might be an appropriate tune to use anyway for this. But I was singing I was playing in a place in East Anglia, which is in near a place called near Thetford, where Tom Paine came from. Actually, Tom Paine, great hero, pamphleteer. But anyway, it was near there, and it was a pub called the Flint Nappers. Must have been Flint Mines around there. Anyway, I was about to go on. I was having a drink in the bar, sitting there, and suddenly there were about 4 or 5 generations of family all coming in. I mean, there must have been 12 people coming in. There was Pete, head of them, and they all said, "Do you mind if we join you, Rory? We've come to hear you." I said, "No, come round, come and have a chat." And so we were sitting there, and they were the grandkids, the great grandkids. Anyway, Pete was saying, my mum Edie wanted to come and hear you tonight, but she's too poorly. But we gave you a CD, and it came to this song, "Too Old for the Orphanage, Too Young for the Old Folks Home," and she put it on. We put it on, and when it had finished, she said, I want to hear it again. And then we put it on again, and then she went again. She said, and again, and then eventually she says, "That's my song. That's my song." So anyway, so would you sing it for us tonight? And I said, "Yeah, sure." So I did. Anyway, and I was in the area again a year later, perhaps 2 years. I can't remember. But there was Pete again, and his fan. And I said, "Well, how's Edie?" And he said, "No, she passed away." So I sang it through that night too, and to keep her memory alive. Anyway, last year I was in Ely in Cambridgeshire at a festival, and I'd heard that Pete had died. We lost Pete, and so this is for him today as well. I was singing up near Hartlepool for a while ago, and quite a while ago, and during my break a young fella came up to me and he said he'd been living in Canada for the last 9 or 10 years, and it was the first time he'd come back home since his parents had died, and he wasn't sure if it was home anymore, because everything that connected him to the place that he grew up with and had been close to had died or gone away, and he wasn't sure if it was home anymore. So I guess this song's for him as well. As for Edie. Quietly, without saying goodbye, friends I got close to and kissed. I held them, I loved them, I didn't want to leave. I just had somewhere else to go, calling me. I've got nobody who knows me. Where do I belong? I'm too old for the orphanage, too young for the old folks home. I leave myself off for myself, travelling in search of a home. That's all I ever travelled for. That's why I'm wandering around. I buried my 50 years ago. My friends and my family for many years. nonsense has done to me. I'm nobody who knows me. Where do I belong? I'm too old for the orphanage, too young for the old folks home. I dream of back in the old house I lived in, where we used to play and run around wild. The olive tree's still there, the house is just as it was when I was a child. I'd be there at the same old table, sitting in my favourite cafe with a hand of cards, all dominoes, and friends with who I used to play. I'm got nobody who knows me. Where do I belong? I'm too old for the orphanage, too young for the old folks home. I dream I'm walking down the road back home, crying hello and holding everyone tight. And if old friends treat me like a stranger at home, they treat my strangers right. I'm got nobody who knows me. Where do I belong? I'm too old for the orphanage, too young for the old folks home. Sometimes I've travelled without long, other times I wanted so poor. Made me turn in my bed and leave, open my door. I said, when come inside, when blow my hair, when be my guest. I too have no place to rest, a hunger to feel, a closeness of nobody who knows me. Where do I belong? I'm too old for the orphanage, too young for the old folks home. I walk in the night horse within me. I'm a stranger in my shoes, I'm a stranger walking these streets. I lost the power of standing still. I've been travelling on a treadmill, looking for a home in the heart of a restless lover, in the wind that keeps me moving, I'm its brother. Looking for a world where the fires are burning, walking these streets, looking for my children, they've run away from home. I wanted to watch them grow, now I'm my own father and I'm my own child, walking these streets alone. I'm got nobody who knows me. Where do I belong? I'm too old for the orphanage, too young for the old folks home. Birds flying around together in a swarm of flock of murmuration, like calligraphy in the sky, like a blizzard it is out there, like a blizzard, and they all know they're sort of flowing. Someone, I wonder who the leader is, you know, they all decide who's the leader. Oh, it's me, and then he goes, oh no, it's over there. And then that makes the shape in the sky, it's mad. I don't know if you've ever had friends who are a couple, always together. They're always together. You always watch them, looking after each other and being affectionate with each other, hand on the table. They were inseparable, even when they were trying to strangle each other, you couldn't get them apart. They always together, and they've been together for years. You always knew them as a couple. But one day they split up and you don't know why, and you're a bit shy to ask, you feel a bit nosy, so you don't. And you're sitting at home one evening, you know, watching the fire, and you're sitting there, and your doorbell doesn't ring because it's been broken for a while, and you know, and suddenly there's a knock on the door though, and you answer the door, and it's one half of that couple, of the couple that just split up. And it's, oh, come in, I'll put the kettle on. Lovely to see you. And then you realise after a while that more than a cup of tea was needed, a stiff drink, because, well, you know, you're about to ask them a question. They're brimming with emotion, and you're about to ask them a question, and you don't have to, and you're glad because they're telling you, they're confessing and telling you what's going on, and then there's hugs, you know, and you give them a hug, and it's out of tissue, you know, but you've got a bit on your nose there, that's it, there you what, that's it. And anyway, this goes on for quite a while, and until about, I guess, it was half 2, quarter to 3 in the morning, it was, and then they leave, and before you go to bed, you have a little drink for yourself and go to bed. Anyway, a few nights later, you're sitting there again, and the doorbell does ring this time, because your friend, she fixed it on the way out. It was a little loose wire. She'd done this evening class and on a Wednesday night, and in electronics, and also on the Tuesdays was motor mechanics, changing oil, you know, changing oil in the car, and all. So she fixed it for you. And anyway, so you go and answer the door, and it's the other half of that couple, the same couple, the other half. Oh, come in, and this time you go straight for the stiff drink, forget the tea. Would you like a stiff one? Yeah. And it's the same thing again, you know, that there's some tears, and they're telling you, and you're about to ask something and you don't have to because they're telling you anyway, so you don't, and you're sitting down and, oh, come here, give us a hug. Oh, you know, they're brimming with, oh, have a tissue. Yeah, go on. And then, you know, they're brimming with emotion. But after a wee while you realise, actually, that, loyalties might be expected from you, you know. In fact, they might even be demanded, you know. It can happen if your mum and dad split up, you know. You see your father, you can leave home, or you see your mum, you can leave home, and because the whole world's collapsing around them, and they feel so insecure, and the closest thing to the kids, and so they're hanging on to the kid. Both parties are hanging on to the kids, and their world's collapsed. And anyway, and the kids love them both, and they don't. You like, you know, they want you to get back together, but you know, they survive anyway. But they become victims a bit. Well, this happens with your two friends here. They're expecting, you know, you to be on one side and they're not on the other, and also you realise that there's more than one side to a story. You know, you thought there could be two, but there could be 3 sides to a story. You realise, depending on the kind of relationship it is, in a heterosexual one, there could be her side of the story, and then there's his side of the story, and then there's the truth. And so this song is about that. So there we go. There's some cello on this normally, a bit of cello, and viola and violin, and some lovely double bass, but hasn't arrived. It's obviously in quarantine somewhere, probably at an airport somewhere, going around on that carousel, you know, with that one lonely bag with all the stuffing coming out. Anyway, so let's have a go.
Fair in love and war, some say, and all is fair in hunger and love. But lies and loud rumours grow to be truths when they are repeated enough. You might hear someone complaining and blaming me, but you never heard me tell my side of our story. I could paint a different picture of a woman I love, but in the telling there would be no glory. We were both victims, victims of circumstance. And if you take the words of others you've heard, then we haven't a chance. I can't forgive myself for being untrue to
pretend it, but now she has invented a list of all her defects and crimes. Now I'm shy-faced, awkward and shy, golden confused in some twilight zone of tittle-tattle and lies. I can't do anything right since I became very accident prone. We were both victims, we are both victims, victims of circumstance. And if you take the words of others you've heard them, we haven't a chance. Don't take my side, I can't forgive myself for causing heartache and pain. I was lost, I didn't mean to hurt anyone. I just wish someone would let me explain. Though we were both lonely, we are both lonely, looking for love and romance. And if you take the words of others you've heard, then we haven't a chance. I won't defend myself, or I would have to tell tales of loveless rebukes and put-downs. That is why I let an old friend hold me and take me to a place that was out of bounds. We were both lonely, we are both lonely, looking for love and romance. And if you take the words of others you've heard, then we haven't a chance. We were both victims, we are both victims, victims of circumstance. And if you take the words of others you've heard, then we haven't a chance.
Did you enjoy that storyteller? Of course you did. And if you enjoyed it, like the minstrels of old, we're passing round the hat. And if you have some, whether it's paper or coin, our storytellers would appreciate what you put in. Every penny you put in goes directly to that storyteller through PayPal. All you have to do is go to worldstorytellingcafe.com, click on today's stories or click on that storyteller, and there'll be a hat below the story, and you can just drop a little in that hat. Well, thank you for listening. And if you can afford it, we'd appreciate it.